Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB or Chris, and today we're going to use something we haven't used for a long time. Barrister Man Seville, if I can find the right way to show you this container. Terrific container, by the way. Barrister Man's really upped its game on containers since the last time I used it, I think. It's been a while. So we'll talk a little bit about that soap in just a moment. We're also going to be using the Razorock Lupo. And the reason why is I haven't used it for a while and I just love it and I want to use it. I'm going to be using the Kai blades. And one of the things I like about the Kai blade is when you get it, it comes in a paper like this and there's not a bunch of wax. You know, you just open it and it's in paper. No wax, no anything around the blade edges or anything like that. I saw Chris from Another Cut Above the other day using a blade, and it had waxy stuff all over the blade, which is a pain. It gets on the razor, and sometimes it gets close to the edge, which is really not ideal. And so we're putting our Kai blade in there. Wonderful posts on the Lupo, locks that in. Razorock Lupo, by the way. It's one of my favorite shavers. I really love the way this razor works. It is lightweight. This one, it happens to be aluminum. We're also going to be using the Yaqi, well, there's the brush. This is the Yaqi Professional Barber Pole brush. Synthetic's got a tuxedo type knot. I've already made a little lather up over there. Let's go ahead and wet our face. Today we will be announcing the winner of last week's giveaway, so stay tuned for that. Thanks everybody for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I hope you had a great Friday. And I hope you'll have a great Saturday. Of course, it depends on when you're watching this. You could be watching it, far later, but I hope you have a great day in any event. All right, let's get working here. Our first use with the Yaqi Barber Pole brush. And just when I looked at this knot, it looked a little short and a little off when I pulled it out of the box, but we'll see. It is... it's not quite as luxurious. You have to press a little more than you do with the West Coast Shaving House brand synthetics. But I think it'll be fine. Just a matter of figuring out, how the knot works best. And sometimes you just have to use things a number of times before you really sort of dial them in. And you also have to figure out how the brush is going to release its lather. So some brushes you push too hard and the lather goes up towards the handle. And some brushes releases the lather very easily. All right, let's talk about the soap. Let me start off by showing you the ingredients right there. So there are your ingredients for Barrister Man Seville. The cost on it, I got it at West Coast Shaving. It was $15.99 or $3.99 per ounce. So that is still in the realm of fair pricing. Anything under $4 an ounce is still a 1 thumbs up for me. So I like it on the PPO basis. It's a legendary soap of very good quality. This is supposed to be their new Excelsior base, which of course I have never tried. Their old stuff was good too. I was using Barrister Man. I don't even think they had containers the first time. I ordered a soap called Ferox. And I think I ordered Seville and maybe Cheshire or something. I don't recall, but it's been a long time. And either I only got the puck or they didn't offer containers at the time. It's been, the first soaps that I ever ordered. Anyway, they certainly have fine offerings at Barrister Man, no question. Good quality in their soaps. Pretty well respected throughout the hobby, I would say. And they've been doing it for quite some time. All right, so this is more than adequate for me. Again, I'm going to have to work with this brush and figure out at what point it releases lather. That's really part of the trick for me, is to not push too hard where it pushes up in the knot. Synthetics, I tend to push the lather up in the knot. Anyway, I didn't talk about the scent of this soap, so let's do that while we start shaving. The scent is sort of a barbershop type scent. It is nice and stout, 7 out of 10 on scent strength. On the quality of scent, excuse me, I'm tongue twisted. The B&M has me tongue twisted. It is a scent that I have always enjoyed. It is not your traditional powdery type barbershop scent. It's their own sort of spin on it, and it's a very, very good one. It is in a lot of top lists, I believe, or, I would think so. Very nice. This Kai blade, by the way, these first few strokes, it's not as smooth, excuse me, sorry about that, as my normal blades, but maybe it'll calm down after a little bit of use. Sometimes blades are a little rough out of the gate, and on that second and third use, they calm down, and so we'll hope for that. Of course, I've never used a Kai in this particular razor, and so there are sometimes some pairings work better than others in terms of blade and razor pairings. So be cognizant of that. You might have a daily driver that's a Gillette Silver Blue, and you just find a razor that it just doesn't work well in, and so just remain cognizant of that and change the blade if necessary. I always say if you need to change midstream, then be willing to do so. But it's not extraordinarily rough. It's just not as smooth as normal, so we'll hang with it. Anyway, the soap, it's the quality you would expect from Barrister and Main. Quite good, really good scent. No irritants whatsoever in terms of, sometimes you put a soap on your face. It's rare for me. It's probably like 1 in 30 or 40 soaps will sort of give a burning sensation because I'm sensitive to something in the soap, and then I just don't use them. Not the case for this soap, and it's sort of a rare thing for me, but it can happen. You can be sensitive to certain ingredients, so you have to stay cognizant of that. But I don't recall ever having a sensitivity issue with Barrister and Man soaps, so I don't expect any problems today. And by the way, I put out that second chance challenge yesterday, and I've already gotten some feedback on that where people have tried things that they didn't like. For example, a guy named Pete emailed me and said he saw my video, the one where I really loved the Merc of Progress, and then he saw my challenge video, and he decided to revisit his Merc of Progress, which he used to strongly dislike, and it gave him all sorts of trouble. And now, a couple of years removed from when he really didn't like it, he loved it. He said it was just he was nailing it. And I, of course, attribute that to his experience. And I told him that I had a similar circumstance in that early on, I bought a bunch of vintage razors, almost every one I could find, and I just didn't like them. And later, I revisited them, and Don the Navy Goat sent me most of the ones that I own now. And I loved them, but it was several years removed. And so I'm hoping people will take that challenge up, try soaps maybe you didn't like before, see what happens. I'm going to roll back and try some Colonel Conk, glycerin, and I'm going to try all kinds of stuff that maybe I wasn't sweet on the first time around, or brands maybe I fell out of love with, or whatever the case may be. I'm just going to let it roll and see if I enjoy the shave, because that is truly what it's about. Terrific scent on this soap. Terrific. Definitely not your traditional barbershop type scent, but it's a really nice version that is quite unique. Oak moss, some citrus, I think. I don't know what the actual notes are, but that's, I think, what I'm getting. And if I recall, I think that, those are sort of the notes there. Feels good on your face too. So that's very, very nice. So let's clean this up a little bit and see how we can do on pass number 2 here. Very nice. The Lupo here is, again, aluminum, very, very light, but I found it to be a terrific shaver. One of my favorite shavers, and I haven't had it that long. And I've been wanting to really use it, but I've been trying to, rotate the razors around because people want to see single edges and various things. So I'm trying to, accommodate the viewers. But man, I've been itching to use this razor again, just because I found that I like it more each time I use it. And it's a very, simple razor. It's not anything, it's not a looker, it's not like when you saw a Pills razor, you're like, ooh, you know, or a One Blade Genesis or something where you go, ooh, really nice looking. This one is rather plain looking, but also rather effective. And so that's really what counts when it comes down to it. I like a nice looking razor too, don't get me wrong, but ultimately it all comes down to how it works. And this one's a terrific shaver. And I have really enjoyed it. And today I just said, I am taking one for me. I'm having a shave for myself, you know, where I'm just going to enjoy it. And so it's the razor I picked. Just one I really wanted to enjoy. I think the blade here is calming down a little bit. The first few strokes were a little bit rough. It almost seems like the blade needed to be stropped. I generally don't strop DU blades. Some people do. But it's calming down and it's getting better. So I expect on the next 2 shaves on this blade that it will be better than the first. And keep that in mind. Sometimes, you know, blades calm down a little bit. All right. I was watching a fella yesterday. Excuse me. I'm almost getting lather in my eye again. I was watching a fella yesterday. Again, I'm mentioning his channel because I was taken by it. His name is Shave Cave. And so I don't think I've ever seen someone who's so intense about lathering. So he's doing a video. Let me get a little more moisture on the face. He's doing a video where he's just lathering. And he said his girlfriend likes it when he lathers certain scents and just rinses it off and comes to bed. So he's got a nice scent on his face. Some soaps do leave a little scent behind, some don't. But anyway, he was sort of just practicing lathering and lathering up and so on and so forth, so he'd have a little bit of scent without it being too overbearing. That's the way I took it. But this guy, the way he approaches lathering, it's like he walks in the room and he's got this intense look in his eyes, and it's almost like a predator, I don't mean in a bad way, I mean like a wolf or a lion that's prancing back and forth. So when he's opening this shave stick, he's really focused intensely. Like there's no smiling, there's no laughing. He's like, you know, like I'm gonna create some serious lather, you know. And so he's soaking the puck, or he's put the shave stick down, he's soaking it, and he's very methodically doing all these things, using a razor to open the shave stick. And the whole time he's got this really intense look, you know. And it's like, I'm about to put a whooping on some lather or the shave stick. And I'm entertained by that because it's something you don't see often. Like I would call it lathering with intensity and purpose. It's like, I'm going to do this and I'm really serious, but you know, and it reminds me of like a lion that's stalking prey. That's the way he looks. Now, granted, I've only seen a couple videos, but in the few I've seen, he looks at these soaps and creams like, you know, they're prey, and I'm going to get into them. You know, I'm about to give them a bad day or a good day, depending on your perspective. But I thought that was cool. I like things that are different. So yesterday I mentioned shaving with fuzzy. It completely different from anything you see, and I dig that kind of stuff, you know. And so when I see, whether they're a new shaver and they have 10 subscribers or they have 10,000, I watch, you know, and if I see something different, I like to mention it to you all. So check out Shave Cave, the latest video. It was from Friday. What was the date? Like maybe the 28th or 29th of February. Check it out and see if I'm not right. That like he's like a machine, almost like a cross between a lion and the Terminator or something, you know. So very intensely focused and very, very serious business, you know. Now I know he's having fun, so I'm not saying he's not enjoying himself, but I mean, he gets in there like, you know. And I said, this guy, man, he's serious business, you know. He's all about the discipline of lathering and doing it the way he likes to do it. And what I say is, folks, And I'm going to start saying this a lot more. It's your shave. Do it your way. Don't worry about what anybody else has to say. Do it your way. Have fun with it. And if you're very serious about lathering and like it's really important to you to achieve a certain level of lather, then do that. If you're not very serious about lathering and you're just interested in getting a serviceable lather to achieve the best shave for you that's possible, then do that. You know, do it your way. It's sort of what I've always done. I try to do it my way. But also at the same time, I try to keep in mind the people who are spending their time watching this video. And so I do take suggestions and so on. And I have been, so. And I want to thank everybody who's recently came back to the channel. Really appreciate it. And for those of you who haven't resubscribed, I hope to earn your sub. So if you think I'm doing a great job, please hit that sub button and tell someone else that I'm back, you know. I do take sabbaticals from time to time, and I have over the years. Kevy Shaves was doing his 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 video, and he tagged me, and he had mentioned that he's gone away and come back. I have taken some sabbaticals. I have never been gone from wet shaving, but I have taken some sabbaticals from making content, but I've never ever stopped since I started wet shaving. And a viewer asked me, and we'll get into this a little bit. Maybe we'll get into the next question in the head shave, because I got to do a head shave video, so maybe we'll save that. Right now, what we're going to do is rinse off and come back with you for a post, so stay tuned. And all right, we are back with the Magic Made by Witches. New bottle on the way, by the way, because I'm almost out. That was very, very nice. That was exactly what you would expect from a Barrister Man soap. Now, for those of you who are going to ask me, was this formulation better than the last? I don't know, because it's been a couple of years, and their soap was very good before. It hit all the marks today. Barrister Man Seville, very, very nice. I like this sort of tamper label you have to cut through to open. That's a very nice touch and a very nice package all around. The label is clean and elegant. I like it. I don't know if Excelsior is many times better than a couple of versions ago, but it's very, very good. So, you know, you decide on that. The Lupo was terrific. The Kai blade, we'll hope it settles down a little bit. It wasn't as smooth as I would like, but the razor is terrific and well priced at Italian Barber. Oh, let's do the giveaway real quick. The announcement. Who did I write down from the randomizer? The winner is Randall Hayhurst. So Randall Hayhurst from South Carolina, I think it said. Here is your winnings. Please email me your address and I will get it out to you next week. Don't worry, folks. There will be another giveaway announced tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We're going to close it out with some fine platinum, which smells similar to Creed Aventus. It's a terrific scent. This aftershave doesn't hang around as long as it used to. And I know some people don't care about that. I like it too. I have remedied it by getting an EDT. But this does not hang around like it used to, in my opinion. Still good, it's still a terrific scent. But the longevity is not quite what it used to be, in my opinion. Okay, I want to thank everyone for joining me. Until next time, I want to remind you, it's your shave. Do it your way. God bless.